saying? The tongue is like a double-edged sword. It can heal, it can cut, it can destroy, it can build up, it can do everything. So I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, good morning, good sunrise day or something like that. I don't know, but I ain't into that morning. But anyways, I just want to give y'all an insight. Anybody that watches my channel and subscribe, and y'all don't know what's going on, this is like from John, yo. I think he was from New York, got to grow up on his own, straight up, yo. And I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it. And I'm gonna run you down exactly what's going on in my life for me to be happy this morning and say I made it. I'm not gonna drag it out. I'm gonna tell y'all I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from North Sea Avenue, straight up. Word is born. I'm like straight up. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a Jamaican. He came over here on farm work, and he was picking oranges down in Florida. And Uncle Carlton and Uncle Wilfred, you know what I mean? They went down there and got him, and they brought him back. You know how they went back in the 70s or whatever. He come here like 60s or whatever. Because I was born in the 70s, so 78. So I don't know. My dad was here for many years, and then he had me and shit. You know what I mean? So anyways, big shout out to my father John Williams for making it through life, because he had to go through the struggle. That man, you know what I mean? The struggle is real. Like rap, I say, the struggle is real. But I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on in my life. See, when I was born in the projects to a mother that was running around. My dad was like a gigolo. He was like a pimp. You know what I mean? He had that smooth accent, Jamaican guy. You know what I mean? So the women loved him, and that was his downfall at one time. You know, my mom was a little second ahead. She started getting with guys. You know what I'm saying? My mother joined the cult. Her name was Sister Bathsheba. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's watching this right now, it's like, it is what it is, whether you want to believe me or not, because you guys are quick to comment, but don't know the half. You know what I mean? And most of y'all can't even literally can't even step in my shoes, not even like you cry and slam the door, you know, mommy didn't give you something. Like, I ain't had that. When y'all was going to school, my mother used to put me down in the basement. Whether y'all believe it or not, over there in Queens, it's called a Hell Night. I used to live on Nostrand Avenue, but my mother used to take us to Queens. The other little children inside the little cult that they had, the Yahweh cult. It's like off branches, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh was in Miami. We'll go down in the bus and go see him. But mainly living in New York. Now, people that worship Yahweh is going to be like Yahweh. Hey, that's on you, man. You can worship whatever you want to worship. That's on you. You know what I mean? But I know the truth. He died in 1960. He died. I was in prison when he died. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being beat and seeing these people that beat you and molested your sister and literally took the life away from you when you was a child, and going to prison. They had turbans on. They was worshiping the Lord. They was worshiping Yahweh. They don't even know that sometimes I had like a pistol ready to stab them in the eye. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know the viciousness that I had on me, but I know they particularly didn't have nothing to do with it. So you just couldn't. But God forbid they put one in my cell. You know what I'm saying? And just God forbid, man. And that's why God didn't allow things to happen, because vengeance is His, said the Lord, not mine. So anyways, growing up in the streets of Brooklyn. First of all, back then when you was growing up in Brooklyn with a Jamaican dad, he sent you to school with penny loafers on and iron my slacks and a shirt. Like I was going to Catholic school, but everybody was rocking, like, you know what I'm saying, the denims and the down and the Levi's and the stone jeans and the damage and the used. That's what they used to call it, used. They had patches all over the place. And I'm going to school with a penny in my shoe. Like, bro, that was a mental mind screwing, like, unbelievable. Like, kids used to just literally tear me apart when I went to school. You know what I mean? Like, just tear me apart. I can tell you, like, real quick, I would jump into it real quick. I remember going into a car, stealing it, because they teased me so much that I was gonna go to the basketball court, and I was gonna put a slug in somebody, like, straight up. I found it. It was a 22. I didn't even really know how to cock it, but I've been watching TV forever, playing video games. I know how to put that clip in there. And no lie, I put it in a brown paper bag. Let me tell you how God is merciful for me, man, and merciful to others. I put it on the ground, but every day I used to go there and they teach me. They teach me about my shoes, they teach me about everything. So this time, I put the gun by, put it by the basketball court, and I said the next person that say something about me, I'm gonna go. That's how ignorant you are when you're young. You know what I'm saying? So the next person that say something, I'm doing it right here. And I sat out bumping people into playing basketball, and now one person is like, God sealed their mouths because he knew that he was going to carry John to another level. And the people that still that did that to me, the children, he was going to carry them to a different place at a different time. But it wasn't right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what God carried you, that carried you. Well, anyways, so I just give God praise for that, man. When you see type of John there, but do that tell you so much. I'll even show you how to get there. All the things I've been through my life, jails, group homes, prisons, all that. You know, institutions, devil row, circles of care. Like, believe me when I tell you, man. Believe me, I've been to federal court. I got a certified letter that's stamped by a federal judge. I don't have to work for the rest of my life. I remember getting like $50,000 back paid from Social Security when I got approved, but I never took it because I was always trying to go further with my life. But hey, it is what it is. Remember, I have a file, I have a record. It's out there. It's really real. Like I'm not making this up for y'all. Like I ain't just wake up one day and say, hey, my mother been in prison for 16 years. And in 1986, when I was a small little kid, 8 years old, I was testifying against a little class. I didn't even know what they were doing. They were like, John, what you want to hurt you? You know what I'm saying? As a kid, and then you grew up in a group home, locked up in the basement. When I came to the world, I was quiet. I didn't really want to see that. But look, John didn't want to see nobody. You know what I'm saying? But people don't. They be like, yo, John, you really been to them things there, John? Really, John? Come, no man, John, come. Yo, for real, for real. Like I've really been through certain things in my life that y'all maybe not understand, or other people that can understand that have been through it. Everybody has their own problems. I just think I was dealt some bull crap cards, you know what I'm saying? But I think that it made me who I am today. Well, anyway, growing up in Brooklyn, my mother used to, when she joined the code, everything was fine for a couple of days, and then after a while, when they got you hooked in there, it was in Brooklyn. So anybody from New York would know what I'm talking about. They put us in there, and they started doing like sacrifices, man. And I was the sacrifice. I guess I was the sheep, the blood. I don't understand it. I was the ram blood, the whatever they call it, the bullock's blood and all everything. I mean, I don't understand what they're doing. But let me tell you something. I remember the whippings. And my daddy didn't even know what was going on. That man, tell him, man, I'm gonna get more into it. But my daddy didn't know why I was. So, yo, let me tell you something, yo. My mother used to put me in out. She used to whip us so bad for hours with the other people. I remember being on like two lines like this. Two lines of people on one side. And we had like all the children crying and shit. We jumping around and they had to go through and they whipped us. And if you fell or you know, you can't run through, you gotta walk through while they whipping you on both sides, man. You cannot allow them to hit you in your face. You gotta put your arms up because they don't want that. That's why we wore robes, our robes and turbans all the way up. And long sleeves and the staff, because they was covering up the scars sometimes that got on our hands or whatever. So once they do that to you, then they'll put you in alcohol and Tabasco sauce. The combination is weird to me. I can't look at a Tabasco sauce. I can't look at it. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Because it brings back a lot of memories of the things that happened to me in my life. So you know, I you know, certain things I just stay away from. But I remember screaming so much, and when they hold me down, and the alcohol in my skin used to burn and sting. You know what I'm saying? Screaming so much that I would wish for death sometimes. They never come. I had to pause because I saw like the police looking at me. I didn't want them to think that I was like on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta make sure you have your eyes controlled. So I had to like focus real quick. So anyways, the things that and that was just the beginning, guys. I remember Bumper Rock and Shalom Lock. I remember they changed my name. My name was John. They gave us all Hebrew names. And my name was Jonah. And my brother's name was Alex. They named him Yoel because the J didn't exist in the Hebrew alphabet. Of course, the Jews, I can get into that with you. I can tell you when the J was hidden. The J was hidden because they don't want you to know Christ. Anyways, my sister was Jennifer, dropped the J, they named her Rebecca. And my mother was Deborah Rhea, and they named her Rebecca. Sister Bathsheba, that was her name. And then I had a little brother named Jeremiah. They dropped the J, and to this day his name is Ali. Like, you really walk around with the cult name. Isn't that like something mentally disturbing? So anyways, I hope I'm not talking too loud, man. I felt good this morning. You know what I'm saying? Even though I ain't right with the Lord 100%, I got a lot of choices to make before it's too late. I'm not getting any younger, and I just got to keep praising His name until He changes my life 100%. And all I'm willing to change it with Him. Other than that, man, it's just always a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyways, one day we went, my brother Alex decided to go out there in New York. They used to send us out with literature. And my brother would pass it out, and he used to get the money, and you had to make, the kids had to make like $10 a day, and if you didn't get it, hell night for you. And that's consistent of the alcohol and Tabasco sauce, the whipping, you know what I'm saying, the torture. I remember some of the kids actually getting snipped, circumcised with just a regular pair of scissors, man. Yo, I know y'all don't believe me, man, but there's a book out there called Sectarian Songs. I get 25% of the book. It was written by my brother. My brother's old as hell now, and this shit is old, so I don't care. They changed his name to Michael Clean, Keep Clean, or something like that. But it's called Sectarian Song. If you go on Amazon, you can download it for like $9. I don't even care if you want to buy it or not. Just look at it. And it's got like a two stick figures, me and my brother and I, and the blood. So he wrote it. I had nothing to do with it, but I do get a percentage of it. It wasn't a bestseller. I'm not rich off it. I don't even, make any money like that. So I'm just letting you know there's a book about our life out there. Okay, so people who don't believe, I don't even care if you do believe or not. I'm just sharing this story right here for inspiration for others, man. Especially my young black brothers, man. That ain't got nothing in life, that you was dealt with real crazy cards. Even my white brothers and Japs and all, whatever you are, Japanese, Puerto Rican, I don't care what you is. If you've been through the struggle, bro, I got compassion for you, man. If you just been like, it's crazy the things that we gotta go through. We gotta go through an American checkpoint. Check this out, guys. Let me see the checkpoint. So anyways, after that, I went through pretty much like group homes. I've been to like 15, 16 group homes, Nanuet, Haverstraw, Gun Hill Road, all that stuff in New York, all over the place, jumping around like a moron. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to get my mind right. They're going to ask me if I'm a U.S. citizen. I should say no and start running somewhere. Let them catch me and start laughing. I'm not illegal. I don't smoke weed. I don't have any drugs. So I'm not worried about it. They're going to ask me if I'm an American citizen. Next time I'll put the camera on. But I don't want to put the camera on right now. They're real serious with the dogs and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you know what I mean? So, but if I was in violation of like, I shouldn't have stopped, or I should have just kept it going, maybe I can I wouldn't have any, I would have a fear, but I don't have a fear because I'm not going anywhere. So. No, sir. Yes. I would hope so, right? Just saying, have a good morning, man. I would hope so, crossing the borders. You might not get back. Well, anyways, going through all that, my mother went to prison for like 16 years. My dad went crazy. Like, he just started smoking drugs and hanging out on the street. I remember, man, he was very, very, very abusive. If my dad is watching this, don't think I'm trying to like lose your pass against you, Daddy. I love you, man. Everybody makes mistakes. I forgive you, man. You got to deal with the Lord. But I can tell you this, Dad. I know that you changed a lot, and you're doing really good. You got yourself a nice place to live, and you got your stuff together. And I'm happy that you got your mind right. Maybe not be financially stable, Dad, but I got you, bro. No matter what. And I'm a soldier to the end, bro. Like, I told you, Dad, don't worry about it. I built a house in Jamaica. You said you want to go out there, no problem. If you go to Jamaica, Dad, let me tell you something. I'm gonna send you money every minute I possibly can. I'll go out there and grind these streets even harder. Word up to make sure that you're comfortable. And I'm gonna make sure somebody in Jamaica, I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna nurse to every one of your needs, Dad. Just because you gave me life, bro. So I respect you just because you gave me life. And you never gave up on me, even though you didn't have good relationships with the women, and you did all types of shit. And I'll never forget. But I forgive you, Dad. And I'm gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Just like you was there for me when I was a child. You didn't give up on me. Sometimes you this is conniving stuff, but overall you made sure I was safe. You know what I'm saying? And I love you, man. I'm not gonna hold anything against you. Well, anyways, they started looking for us. The cult started looking for us. Now, if you read the book, but even if you go into the transcripts of, if you go back into and looking for it on YouTube and Google, you can see it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, and first of all, I ain't got no time to impress you, man. So if you sit up here thinking, John, I got time to impress you, man, go fly a kite. Straight up, man. Take this truck sideways and just ram it in your ass. Like, I don't got no time to impress you, man, or lie about anything. Like, I ain't doing this for no chips. YouTube ain't paying me to express myself. The reason why sometimes I talk to this camera is because it's therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? Because on some there's a lot of times when I've lost it and God has really protected me. I don't know how I'm not dead or in jail or in prison or something. Because sometimes I get it. I used to go into a fit of rage, man. And I'm not saying I'm the baddest person on the earth, bro. But let me tell you something, man. I'll put it on you. I'll put it on you. I will do whatever I gotta do. I've done a lot of things to people, and there's people walking around with scars to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put some of the scars that I got to this day is because it came back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like getting chopped in my forehead. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always said, "He was wearing a hat." You see that? That's a crease. It never healed. So those are the things that I've been through in my life, and that topped it off. But I used to be in a fit of rage, and I didn't know how to control it. I was just angry. Anger had a chip on my shoulder, like a rock. So I had to get it off. The only way I can get it off is talking, and God Almighty and talking. See, that sun is shining on me because God has given me more energy to live. And I thank you so much. If you woke up this morning, you got a purpose. But let me tell you something, people. After the abuse and being moved down to Florida and all that, I ended up at the Resurrection Ranch in Florida. Pastor Arlene Coulter took me in because of my story. So at 15 years old, I went on the Resurrection Ranch. I came down to see my dad. He was beating the hell out of some woman named Jacqueline Torres. I'll never forget that. I told him, "Yo, Dad, stop it." He didn't want to see. He said, "Yo, boy, we gotta go, dog." And he looked at me and he was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yo, Dad, listen, man, let me tell you something. I'm 15 right now. I'm big." I didn't even say that, but that's what I expressed myself. I was like, basically, "I'll beat your ass." And he was like telling me to do it. And I remember he had a cord around her neck and she was yelling and screaming to help her. And no lie, I two-pieced my dad I just bang, bang, bang. I was always into PAL boxing when I was a youth in the group homes. So I know how to throw that jab, bow, you know what I mean? So I busted him up and I just let him, I told him, I stood over him, I said, "It's for my mother, my brother, my sister, nigga, everybody you ever touched in your life, bro." And he would just say, "Oh God, you know how Jamaican people exaggerate. Oh God, give me one son. Oh, Man, look, bro. Take that whole that, just like I did things in my life and I got chopped in my head or I got beat up or whatever, bro. I deserved it. You know what I'm saying? So you deserved it at that time, and you know what I'm saying? Yes, I put my hands on him, and but I love my dad to this day. But that's the truth. That's what it is. So after that, group homes. So I went to I've been to group homes before that too. You know, I can tell you how I got to the group homes. It's just because my dad wasn't stable. My dad literally drove me to New York, like literally drove me to New York from Florida, walked inside BCW and said, "Take this effing little one from me," because he couldn't. His mind state wasn't right. And I was just devastated. He literally walked out of the office. I was like 13 years old. I was just in Jamaica as a youth, going to school. You know what I mean? He left me in Jamaica first. I remember I was from New York straight to the country up in Commodore District, Windsor Forest. And my daddy just left me there for years. Left me there for years. I was eating straight chicken back and playing marbles here. Going down to the river for beer with my uncle them. That me I tell you here. So life was hard for me. I don't understand what. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. I went from yo to yo to wagwan. It was just like I'm playing marbles. I didn't have no shoes. My daddy wouldn't send no money. Once in a while, he said $100 $100. And my family, I remember sometimes in my family, they really don't want to hear me that man tell it. I'm gonna tell it, dog. I would talk the tale. I would tell the truth. Some of them would eat the breasts and the wing. I'm giving me the chicken back for them. That me I tell you here. So I don't tell me about hard life. I've been through it in New York, and I've been through it in Jamaica. So don't come here and talk about you ain't been through this or you ain't been through that. I'm gonna tell you something. Yo, I got the worst of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? The worst. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't even eat no chicken back was like a flavorful sweetness. Sometimes in the sauce on yam, you just eat that. That's when you better pull it from belly and take yourself to sleep, type of thing. You know what I mean? I got the two languages mixed up, so I think I talk so fast. You know what I mean? But anyways, so that's one thing I learned in life. Don't underestimate nobody, bro. You don't know what people been through in life. But anyways, Pastor Arlene Coulter took good care of me, man. I remember. She heard my story. She broke down and cried. She did the research. This shit was real. She knew it. She knew it was real. My daddy came and talked to her, and he said, "John, you know," he didn't come at the same time. I got dropped off by Jackie. My dad was vexed with me because I gave him some licks. You know what I mean? But after a while, my daddy come and she really talked to her and told her the story about the Yahweh quote and what John been through and all that. So most of the time, people gonna sympathize for the people who need sympathizing for, right? So she sympathized me. I love that woman, man. Nobody couldn't do nothing to me. If anybody from the Resurrection Ranch know me, or anybody out there from Florida, Cocoa, Florida, you know, Melbourne, Florida, all those, they know that I could not be touched. And it was a homeless shelter, but it was a ranch, like a big ranch, and everybody had rules, and I broke them all. I used to leave the ranch when there was curfews, come in when I want to, go into the refrigerator, jump over the counters, eat all out of the refrigerator, break the locks, and she was like, "John, it's John," and leave him alone. I remember people used to try to gang up on me, and all I do was just run to the pastor, and I tell you what, everybody afraid of the pastor, so you couldn't just really do nothing, because you know, so it go on, if you're in like a group, you know, you live in a group, and you got the leader, of course, one little white woman, you know, she loved me something. Yeah, man, telling her, she just took good care of me, and I had a great life after that. You know what I'm saying? But then I got the wrong friends. I didn't have no guidance. You know, from there I started, doing home invasions and stuff. Like, you know, I didn't care if you was sleeping in there, nothing, man. I was brave. I was coming in. You know, and it's just sad. Like, I used to be one of the biggest thieves. You couldn't leave nothing around me. Now I ain't got time for it. I just ain't got time for it because I keep the struggle is real. I don't have to worry about it no more. You know what I mean? So after that, I went to jails, in and out of jails, in and out of jails. She would get me out, in and out of jails, in and out of jails. And then I did something really bad, you know what I'm saying? The grand thefts and all that. And then, boom, we went to prison. You know what I mean? A couple years in prison, and, you know, on the run, going back to New York. You know, I had the feds in my life for counterfeiting. You know I got banned from the military base for like 10 years and kicked off. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, like my ex sleeping with everybody, sleeping with my brother, doing all types. It's just crazy. Like, it was just hard for me to understand. I got out and I said, I gotta do something better with my life, man. So I went to the singing. I had a beautiful voice. I started singing in jail. People used to pull me over to the side and feed me McDonald's and say, oh, John, you weren't supposed to be in here. I made so many friends in prison that when it was time for my release, I remember, you know, I got released a bunch of times, but, you know, the final time, I remember, like, big shout out to John Hollis. I don't know if you out there, my Richard, but, you know what I mean? He used to worship Allah, and, I don't know, I used to listen to that. I didn't say I was turning into it, but I remember just listening to it, and it gave me a sense of peace. I love Christ, but I will read the Quran. If, you know, back in the days, I'll read it just to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? When you went locked up like that, you read anything. But anyways, life going on in prison, and then I got out, and I remember going on tour in Jamaica. That was crazy. I got with Vivian in Florida. I've been married right now for about 18 years, and she's, you know, I've been through some stuff in my life, man, like, and she's been through some stuff with me, you know what I mean, and that was terrible, you know. We never really had an official, like, wedding. That's my baby, you know what I'm saying, and I just tell you, I've been through a lot in my life. Trucking thing is the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I've been in like 50 different jobs, man, because I would scream, jump across the table, throw stuff at you. We couldn't discipline that. John was a loose cannon. I don't know how I'm here right now. It's by the grace of God. And that's why I'm stuck alone in the truck, because I have no authority over me. You know, I got to be at appointments, but I don't have no authority. Nobody's down me. Nobody's watching me, talking about like, this to the boss, or the boss already know what you're doing. You're not fast enough, or you're slow, or blah, blah, blah. You know, so I remember just going through hell, man, and now I just want to give God praise. So despite what you're going through in life, let me tell you, man, and I have the right, I believe, to talk to the people that's been through it, because I don't believe that you can be a trained psychologist if you don't never been through it. You really don't understand. You know, your degree will give you the right to believe that you can understand me. But, hi, John, how you doing? And sit down and tell me your story. Like, that ain't working, yo. Like, yo, please. We don't want to hear that right now. I used to manipulate them. Even though I'm telling you the truth, I was manipulating, because I realized, you know, Kimberly, like, hi, John, good morning. You know, it's like that was mind blowing. Like, from the hood to group homes, to jails, to psychiatrists, to saying, hi, John. You know, I remember going into these devil rolls and circles of care, but they'll lock me up sometimes and say that my dad would be like, listen, this is the story, and they'll listen to it, boom, judge, boom, psych ward. I would go to the psych ward. I'm gonna tell you this, there's one place, you go ahead and act crazy in the psych ward, it's called the Thorazine. Anybody know back then they had a medication called Thorazine? I hope I'm saying it right, I don't know. But we used to call it the Hollywood Shuffle. And you see people walking around like looking crazy. And then when they said, John, fool yourself, John, and I start saying, man, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't. They really came up in there with that Thorazine. And I was like, So I always made sure I maintained. When they said go to bed, John was in bed, because I didn't want to be doped up. So enough of the games, John, enough of the tough guy act, because I was really crying inside. So y'all really don't probably understand that, but I was crying inside, man. I was always crying inside. Let me tell y'all a powerful thing, whether y'all want to believe it or not, okay? I had a problem. I used to be very quiet. All right? So, I remember, I don't remember too much of my past when it comes to communicating with people. They gave me a syndrome. It's out there. I forgot the name of it. It's been years. I don't feed it. I don't feed into it. But when you guys were living your life, I honestly didn't wake up. I woke up in the bathroom, taking a shower in California, Portola, California. I remember. Nah, this is Fallon, Nevada. Fallon, Nevada. I used to go to Portola in California, and Nevada was like side by side, maybe 25, 30 minutes, about 35, 40 minutes. So I got with a girl named, I forgot her name, man. She was a good woman, man. But I just didn't want to be with her. Vivian had left me and everything, so but she was texting me saying she wanted me back. She sent me a phone and a CD called "You Saved Me" by R. Kelly. Somebody ship that to him because it works for me. Anyways, police is everywhere. So anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's what happens when you. Well, anyways, I was in Fallon, Nevada. I was in her bathroom, and I literally woke up. I can hear people and I can understand people. I don't understand how to explain it, but the traumatic stuff that I've been through in life make me close. I closed the world off for some reason and didn't listen to the age of 25. I remember touching the mirror and crying and falling to my knees because I couldn't even believe that the person that I see inside the mirror is actually me. I thought I was still 16 years old. I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened. I can't explain it. The psychiatrists and stuff that I've been through, it's not it's very common amongst people like been in war or traumatic child abuse as yourself, John, or something traumatic in their life, the death of something or something, and it make you close up and you gotta snap out. And I just snapped out of it, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, I started hugging people and running around and enjoying life. So, even though I'm 45, I didn't believe. That's why I'm so happy and jittery, because I didn't live my life until I was 25. And Vivian I just got with Vivian, and she always had a compassion for me, and for some weird ass reason, I believe that she's sent from heaven above, because I don't know what other woman could literally put up with me for so long. I was mentally, verbally, physically abusive with my mouth. We used to fight all the time. I remember she used to take a knife and stab it through the door. And I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican chicks, boy. You can only get once she started going, caught that man done it, cause years even life is dead. You know what I mean? I can control mine, but I know she's is a woman type of thing, so you can't just beat on her like that and all that stuff. You can't do them things. But when a woman is ready, they're ready. You know what I mean? So I had to cut. I'm big and bad, but when I'm dead serious. When I used to make that girl vex back in the days, when I was younger days, that girl, I remember her taking a big 2x4, and I'm just sitting down chilling. And I messed with her so much, and all I remember across my back was a 2x4. Wow! I was like, whoa! I didn't, and she'll tell you, I never got up and hit her because I deserved it. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. Don't worry about it. None of that stuff. But it taught me a life lesson. Well, anyways, from there I went overseas. Just fast forward, started singing. Realized I had a voice. Came out of prison, went to singing, started singing, and went on tour in Jamaica. You know what I mean? I started hustling out here in America first, and then I went to Jamaica. I went to Tasty's Talent Trail. They picked me up. They was like, I was with Danny Champagne. You know what I mean? Shotty Mark, all them one there, like real gangsters. Like I was rolling with Danny Champagne, one of the leaders of the shower posses back in Brooklyn, New York. I roll with it. Look on my page. I'm talking about in his house, his big mansion, sitting in his big yard. You know what I mean? Danny Champagne from Champagne International Records, and chilling with Shotty Mark. Most of Jamaicans know the real Shotty Mark, like Shotty Mark. Rest in peace. He died, and he was a shotter. I didn't know these things. I thought that was his nickname, like tall man or whatever. You have to realize them things, and you're like, yo, John, you know y'all deal with it? I remember people stopped talking to me in Jamaica, like Wayne. I used to chill with Wayne Marshall and his wife Tammy Chin. I'm going to Tammy Chin house. Straight, whether y'all believe that or not. I went to Tammy Chin's house, performed with Tammy Chin, performed with Gregory Isaac. I performed with a whole heap of people. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Kamala Latouche, Bounty Killer Baby's mother, chilling, watching Bounty Killer Baby. Literally, I watched her grow. I went to Jamaica and sit in the car with Ninja Man. Ninja Man, if you're watching me right now, you know I said John still here. He he sat down in the car and said, "Youth, you should I win TST talent show?" That man, I tell you. But they told me I was an American born, so I really couldn't allow to win. But I can go to the show. And somebody told me, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna win." Nah, man. I remember, big shout out to the man who really was a good singer too. I forgot his name, but big shout out to the president when he sung R. Kelly song. So I went on a tour bus. I would remember and started singing, and people didn't even notice me. After a while, they were literally people running behind our tour bus because we started getting more and more, up there in life. That was the most greatest experience of my life. People were saying, "Why you stop singing?" Danny Champagne. Shotty Mark, I can tell you his life story. I don't really want to get into that because it's terrible, man, terrible. He's gone now, but I don't want to say his real name, but his wife, I guess they was trafficking money back and forth through the plane system back days, and she was short a big bundle of money. So they didn't even ask no question. They just done her quick, boom, boom. They took her life out there. I remember in Jamaica. It's like that. Well, I don't remember. That's what he tell me. I remember going into his house and seeing the clothes still in the closet, and he was one of them. You know what I mean? And then I remember him having a daughter, and I remember she saying, "I don't want my daddy to die." And no lie, man. Within a year, the man told me, "Said, yo, John, I'm not feeling right." I remember Vivian looking at him and saying, "You all right? You all right, Shotty?" And he was like, "No." It was quiet. 2 days later, he had a brain aneurysm. I looked at him come back to the hospital. Got released. He had stitches around his whole head. The family closed up on him. We was his artists, you know what I mean? It was John Earl, it was Minori Russell, we were Black Dice. Look up Black Dice, and look up Minori Russell. Big shout out to them people there because we was really a team. We call ourselves D4 and then Kamala Latouche. That was the four of us. It was just a crazy thing, man. We go on stage, jump around, but he died. Couldn't believe it. We were staying on a boulevard right there on next to Constant Spring Road in Kingston. Straight up, I used to go all them places them on like Jewsland, Samarkand, Waterhouse, all them places there when people say, "John, what you are one great dude." I used to walk to Samarkand, come off of Constant Spring, Red Hills Road. You know what I mean? Past the school, St. Mary's School. I walk straight to the gully side. That may I tell you, pass straight gully. You have to pass people on the wall here. Gunman, any man. And I would literally walk and then hail up the artists. Hail the artists, walk on artists, straight up. So I done been through the hoods. Oh, talking about fake people. I see, yo, we have to expose the people that really give Jamaica a bad name. Like, you have some youths out here in America, like I seen one last night. The man he had a hat on, a big Jamaican Ras hat, excuse me, a big bobo hat, one of them bobo dread. He had one of them, and he had a Jamaican shirt. The man looked like a clown. And he had dreads and he looking at I said, "Yo, yard man." And he looked at me, I said, "Yo, you's a real Jamaican man." I said, "Yo, you a real Jamaican?" First I hit him with that. And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Where you from?" He goes, "Kingston." I said, "Which part?" He goes, "Which part?" I said, "Portland." "Portland you come from?" He said, "Yes, Portland." I went there, yo. He said, "Pick up yourself." Yeah. I knew he was an imposter. He going in and getting the white woman talking about, "Yeah, man, yes, man," looking like a damn fool. That man, I tell you, I was like, I couldn't even believe when I hear the man talk. And then I said, "Yo, pick up yourself here, yo. Make sure he knows, say, yo, a Jamaican man, you just know he could not believe it." And I run across them, and I whole heap of them, we run across them. And like, remember, I've been to school there. I went to school. My daughter went to school there. My son went to school there. So I have the rights to talk. When people say my daddy is from Jamaica, from Spanish Town. My family is from Portland. Most of them come from St. Andrews, but they like move up because my granddaddy got a job with a white man. So the white man took care of him and gave him a nice piece of land and some horses and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just as much a Jamaican as anybody else. I can see if I never been there, or I didn't go to school there, if I ain't get licked down there, one off that, pause, that don't sound right. If I didn't get chopped in my head down up in Jamaica, you know what I mean? If I didn't go to school and play marbles and suffer, you know, I wouldn't have no rights to talk. But I feel as though I have the right to, you know what I mean? It's my blood. It's running through me. You can't take it away. That's me, I tell you. Just like if you come to New York and you start talking New York. If you've been there and you in the struggle and you walk in the streets with me, son, and we selling 2 for $5 on the corner, and we gotta run and we in the dope in the trap house and we gotta run because they shoot it up or whatever, we just sort of talk about it, son, word up. And I was like, yo, you from Jamaica, but yo, we here, bro, we here. So I hope the Jamaican people treat me the same way. But they always, I will never forget what a Jamaican lady said to me, yo, John, you's a Jamaican. And that made me feel real good. Big shout out. Well, anyways, big shout out to, I'm not gonna keep talking, bro. Like and subscribe to the channel. If y'all want to hear some like stories of when I've been through in prison, like, I got some. Oh, I got some. Trust me. God worked miracles for me. I don't know how. I don't know how my face is still intact. But I got some. I can tell you some stories of how the Holy Spirit has guided me and protected me and hid me from this world. Well, anyways, y'all, one day, y'all don't even know who I am. I can tell you the spiritual encounter. I know exactly who I am, and I'm a rebellious spirit right now. I got certain things in my head that I gotta get out of my head, and it's my actions. I gotta make sure that I plant myself on solid ground. Right now, I feel as though, as a parable of the sower, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sown in solid ground, so I make wrong decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because just the things that I've been through in life, I'm just a renegade, and I'm a renegade towards the wrong person, which is my father. And I beg, so I'm gonna say a prayer real quick. So I pray in the name of Jesus. I've been praying a lot, but not a lot, but I'll pray to cover me, there, Father God, and to guide and protect me, there, Father God. Please protect me from my enemies, and I pray over the people watching this. You know what I'm saying? If you understand, then you understand. But anyways, in the name of Jesus, I pray, amen. Everybody who out there, please like and subscribe to the channel, and please share the channel. If you got a brother out there, if you want to know how to get a CDL, if you want to come in, if you're a subscriber and you want to take a ride with me, you ain't doing nothing. As long as you ain't worried, take a shower, we good. You know what I mean? And you're no funny business, guys. John straight. That man tell you, straight. I don't play around with all that, you know, funny business thing. If you's a weirdo or whatever you is, or if you's a funny man, you know what I mean? I don't have nothing against that. You that, but I'm just not into no funny business. Anyways, but if you out there, you chilling, bro, and you wanna take a ride, maybe we can all have fun. You wanna take one trip with me? That's cool. 2 trips. I got an extra seat, extra beds. We can go travel the country. We can go vlog it. So you're always welcome. You know what I mean? But pick up yourselves and support the channel, man. And it's not about the money. I hustle my own. You know what I mean? But the buck is the buck, and you know what I mean? YouTube is like, you know what I mean? But it's more of giving to the people, like giving to somebody who ain't got nothing. If you see a guy struggling, like, yo, let me introduce you to a guy, you know what I'm saying? He can talk. I'll give you my number and everything. If you're going through it in life and you want to know how to maintain it, you want some support, I'm there for you. This is John the Mad Trucker, Life with the Rays. I'm the Mad Trucker, man. I'm not that mad, but that's what I call myself. Sometimes I move like I'm like one. You understand? So anyway, cool. Easy. Yes.